Glad to be here and be before you. Just a couple of things that I've written down. One is, how about a shout out that the overcrossing is almost finished, huh? Yeah. I don't think there's anybody more pleased and happy that the pylons are being pulled off and than the fire department. And just to get our parking lot back and our area back is really, really good. So we're excited about that. Grateful for, it might seem like a long time, and it has been, but I trust that you can get across a lot better now. At least we can. And so that's a good thing. Thanks to the county and Caltrans and all those that have been involved in that. In light of that, the fire station there at the corner of Broadway and Salida Boulevard, we intend to, once everything's out, in fact, I think it's the next week or 10 days, they're going to be pulling their office, that mobile trailer out of there, and we're going to be working with the county. The fire district's going to be working with the county to do some, we hope, some beautification right on that corner. We're not just going to, or the intent is that we're not just going to put a chain link fence and pave it all the way. We hope to put some sort of landscaping along there, make it a little bit inviting in that corner for those coming and going through Salida. So stand by on that. We're actually meeting this week to discuss it with some of the county officials, and thanks to Supervisor Withrow. He's been very instrumental in pulling people together to say, let's make something happen in this way. So he's not here tonight, but I will mention him. CHP officer Leon mentioned traffic accidents. And I will tell you, please, 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 defensive driving, caution, caution, caution. We have been out on a number of them. And I haven't ran call statistics over the last quarter in relation to previous quarters, but I will tell you, just my years of experience, it seems like we are doing a lot of them, and a lot of them at 99 and Hammond. 99 and Hammond is big. I don't know if it's just the turn, if it's the funnel, how it comes down there. It just seems like both northbound and southbound, we are getting a tremendous amount of calls. So after all, I get the podium here to share with you where our focus has been in the way of response, and just a caution to you, share that with your loved ones and friends and family. The fire department specifically, and we've been focused on training for vegetation fire training. We're under some mandates. There are a number of firefighters killed each year due to the safety and risk in firefighting having to do with wildland firefighting. And so several years ago, it was put down that, listen, there are some basic things that every firefighter needs to go through on an annual basis to requalify to be able to fight fires. Now you may say, well, how is that a big deal? Even the smallest vegetation fire on the freeway is of great concern to us with the traffic. Climb out of a vehicle and be fighting a fire. What do people look at when they're traveling the roadways? They're looking at the incident, right? They're not necessarily looking at where they go. And so we don't look at just the fighting of fire, but also the safety of our personnel in that. One of the things about vegetation fires that is, again, not specific just to Salida, but up in the foothills and in the Sierras, from Fresno up to Calaveras County and on up a little bit farther north, it's estimated that there are 90 million trees dead due to the beetle kill. 90 million plus beetle kill trees. It is said that, and there's a great concern this year, even though it's been wet, it's a little cooler right now, there's a huge concern about the threat. And why does that impact us? Well, we mutual aid, we assist. There's not an agency in I would say in California that can support a large incident on their own. We all come together when the need arises, right? You see it on the news every single year. Well, right up an hour from here, 30 minutes to an hour from here, is a great concern to us. And so it's predicted, and some of the foresters are saying that the landscape in the Sierras will be changing over the next several years because of this bug kill. And it's likely that the tree line will move up, the oaks, the shrubs will, that line will move up as well. So some of the things we're working on right now throughout the state. We have 10 new recruits that are finishing their first year of training. They're probationary firefighters currently. They'll be finishing on around July 18th. We're really excited about that. That's a huge step for each one of them. A great endeavor, and we're grateful for them. By the way, they all do it free. They're all 10 of them are volunteers, 100% free. They do it, and they risk their lives. They give their time for this community, and so again, just a shout out for them. Two other things that I have listed here. One, weeds. Grasses, they're dead, right? They're dying. They're dying rapidly. And I've been driving around. We're in concert. We're looking at some things, some of the alleys. They're of great concern. If you own property and you have an alley behind you, it is the responsibility of that property owner to clean the portion of that alley. And that's necessary, because over the next month, what are we going to see? We're going to have celebrations, Independence Day celebrations, July 4th, and all those things. And nothing worse than to have dry weeds that catch, ignite relatively easy. It then goes to fences and then into structures. So please, if you have a neighbor that has dry weeds, my encouragement is do not depend on the law to come out and post their property and send them a letter, a registered letter, and then do a forced clean. You can do a bunch as a neighborhood coming together and helping your neighbor, or talking to your neighbor and helping them clean their weeds. Please do that. There's not enough resources in code enforcement to go out there and encourage it to be done to everybody. So we just start passing it throughout the town. Please help us out in that way. And then lastly, I would like to announce that our Salida Fire Chicken Barbecue, it's been going for over 60 years now, is on July 23rd this year, July 23rd. Tickets aren't available, but we're going to sell. We've been selling out every single year. There was a discussion in the last few weeks about should we raise the number of dinners, and it was agreed upon no. We're going to leave it at 1,500. That's just really about the capacity in which we can cook, which we can serve. So July 23rd, mark your calendar. You'll be able to swing by a couple of weeks in advance of the fire station, grab your tickets, and reserve a dinner for you. Okay? So ladies, you won't have to cook on July 23rd. Is that a good deal?
Good.
Let me cook for you.
Okay.
All right. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
As far as going around and checking weeds, like that, there's a house on Old Valley, right across the street from the Newport School. And several weeks ago, they chopped down 2 big trees.
Okay.
And they've got all the debris out on Gold Valley that actually goes out into the street, so it narrows the lane, and it takes up most of the block, and it's very dry now. Does anybody do anything about that, or how long are they allowed to leave that out there?
So again, if you're going to depend on code enforcement, there's a process. We can engage in that to do what we call weed abatement. The county has an ordinance, but that doesn't come immediate. It takes process. It takes time. Property owners have rights to get it cleaned up. We'll make notice and say it needs to happen and such. You can call the fire station. You can also call the county fire prevention. That number is 209-552-3700. And you can call them and you can report it with an address. But let me not stop here. If you live in the area and you have an association with your neighbors, again, we encourage you to go and have a conversation with them. Because 9 out of 10 times, just a healthy conversation, maybe they've been sick. Maybe there's somebody elderly there. What better for a community to come together and help out and help them out? Because if you're going to depend on county resources to pull together and do it, there's just not enough of them. We talk about that all the time. So please, if you know a neighbor or you have an influence with them, to encourage them, normally they can find resources easier than government can. So, but if that's unsuccessful, you can call fire prevention or you can call the fire station, and we'll start the process.